Hello and a warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the Global TV News Cycle in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyagmofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has described the accidental bombing of locals in Chundunbiri community of Kaduna State by the Nigerian army as very unfortunate, disturbing and painful, expressing grief over the loss of lives. This was as he sympathized with the families of victims, people and government of Kaduna State. Tinubu's grief was conveyed in a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. Widespread outrage followed the mistargeted bombing of Chundunbiri in the Igabi local government area of Kaduna State by the Nigerian army on Sunday, which left no fewer than 85 villagers dead. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee on Monday resolved to track the 192 projects that the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, says it executed with the 60 billion naira COVID-19 funds released to it by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. This was as the committee grilled the Chief Medical Director of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital over the spending of 949 million naira COVID-19 intervention funds. The Managing Director of FEMA, Emeka Agabasi, at the hearing on Monday told the committee that the agency undertook 192 projects in the 6 geopolitical zones and completed 186 with only 6 left uncompleted. He said 34 projects, 30 in the northwest, 32 in the southwest and 34 in the south-south, 27 in the southeast and 35 in the northeast. The lawmakers were, however, not impressed by documents submitted by the FEMA boss. The committee subsequently decided that it would undertake a tour to inspect the projects. Plateau State House of Assembly on Monday warned the state chapter of the All Progressives Congress against causing any breach of the peace in the state, saying that the House is still on recess. The 24-member assembly, dominated by People's Democratic Party lawmakers, had adjourned plenary till January. However, 3 days later, the Court of Appeal sacked all the 16 PDP lawmakers in the state and declared candidates of the All Progressives Congress winners of the elections conducted in their various constituencies. Addressing the allegation that the House was closed to prevent the newly declared lawmakers from resuming, the Speaker, Gabriel Dewan, who was elected on the platform of Young Progressives Congress, YPP, in a statement clarified that he did not close the House purposely to prevent the swearing-in of incoming members. The National Youth Service Corps NYSC Foundation has taken steps to empower youths in the country with the disbursement of 400,000 naira loan for each of the 7 distinguished corps members selected to enable them invest in their private businesses. Speaking at the disbursement ceremony at NYSC Directorate Headquarters at the Gowon House in Abuja, the Corps Director General, Ishau Ahmed, advised the beneficiaries to be prudent in their usage of the loans. Global Television correspondent Anthony Momodu now tells us more.
General Ahmed, who was represented, warned the beneficiaries to be prudent in the usage of the loans received as they are meant to pay back, thus the need to be steadfast and successful.
To further improve the quality of the Nigerian youth. Because a youth that doesn't have meaningful engagement, that doesn't have a business, that is not employed, cannot be expected to contribute to the development of any nation.
A fulfillment of our pledge. That pledge publicly in the presence of the last president. And the NYSC Foundation is committed to redeeming that pledge.
We all have to find a way to add up something to make the system work. And we are just making our own contribution from it. From the bit we can make the contribution, we believe that it will make an impact to change the situation of the economy.
The beneficiaries of the loans expressed their appreciation for the loans with a promise to judiciously use the loans for their personal success and that of the foundation.
We are going to make the best out of this seed capital, and we promise to make good use of it, and we know that at the end we shall all represent this nation as youths that have been empowered
They're supposed to start a business, they're supposed to run the business, and we give them a 3-month moratorium before they start paying. They have a 3-month period to run the business, start up the business, and on the 4th month, they start paying us for a period of 2 years.
The National Youth Service Corps Foundation steps to empower youth in the country with the disbursement of 400,000 naira loan is no small drive in improving not just the economic fortunes of the citizenry, but the nation as a whole. Anthony Momodu, Global Television, Abuja.
A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to identify within 90 days its officials involved in the registration of the underage during the continuous voters registration CVR exercise in polling units across the country. Justice Obiora Agwatu, in a judgment, also directed the culprits to be produced and handed over to the appropriate law enforcement agency for investigation and possible prosecution. Justice Agwatu equally made a mandatory order compelling INEC to expunge forthwith from its National Voters Register the names of the underage voters from each of the polling units across the Federation, published on a website as identified and compiled by the plaintiff in Exhibit A attached to the affidavits in support of the originating summons. The judge further made a mandatory order compelling the Commission to furnish the plaintiff with a certified true copy, CTC, of the cleaned-up National Voters Register of all the persons eligible to vote in Nigeria within 90 days. Anambra State Markets Amalgamated Traders Association, the umbrella body of all traders in the state, has vowed to generate 5 billion naira for the Anambra State government before the end of 2023 to drive state infrastructural development. The ASMATA President General, Chief Humphrey Anuna, stated this on Monday after a closed-door executive meeting of the association held at its secretariat in Onitsha, the commercial city of the state. Anuna said the move was part of the group's efforts towards increasing the revenue base of the state government to enable late and the state governor, Chukwuma Soludo, pursue his smart city agenda. He recalled that on assumption of office in 2022, the current executive members of ASMATA had generated an unprecedented 2.9 billion naira for the state government. The Nigerian Army has taken responsibility for Sunday's airstrike that left many villagers dead and several others injured at Tundunbiri village in Kaduna State. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, said this at the end of an emergency security meeting on Monday. It was earlier reported that on Sunday night, while the villagers were marking the Maulud celebration to commemorate the birth of Prophet Muhammad, an unmanned aerial vehicle bombed some part of the community, killing a yet-to-be-ascertained number of individuals. Following the incident, Kaduna State government convened an emergency security meeting chaired by the Deputy Governor, Hadiza Balarabe, on Monday. The Nigeria Labour Congress is expected to meet ahead of the resumption of negotiation between the federal government and the organized labor on the new minimum wage. This is to arrive at a living wage which commiserates with the prevailing cost of living. This came as the NLC vowed not to be deterred by the recent assaults on workers and their leaders in Imo State, which is said pose a grave threat to freedom of association and collective bargaining as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution and the International Labour Conventions 87 and 89 on freedom of association and collective bargaining. NLC President Joe Ajaro stated this at the opening session of the NLC 2023 Harmattan School with the theme Building Workers' Skill for Policy Engagement in Abuja on Monday. Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and SCDC, Ahmed Audi, has tasked security agencies to collaborate in order to evolve strategies aimed at addressing security threats, thereby fostering seamless synergy. Audi gave the charge during a two-day workshop for security agencies in Abuja titled Promoting Collaboration Among Security Agencies for Heads of Security Agencies in some select Nigerian states. Global TV correspondent Subra Usman was at the workshop and brings us details.
Dr. Abubakar Audi said there's need for evaluation of security strategies that can pull resources and expertise together in tackling the various security challenges bedeviling the nation, and hence the workshop is apt. He urged heads of security agencies to promote interagency cooperation and stop agency rivalry and build security capacity.
Is organized, with an objective of bringing all security agencies together to harp on the discussion on solutions, security and safety for Nigerians, as far as this military conflict is concerned. And so I think we're on the right path. We're on the right path. Going forward, you will see more strategies put in place more conspicuously to actually go further to degrade the insecurity situation.
Deputy Resident Director Conrad Adenua Stiftung Nigeria, Lucas Libo, says the training will foster interagency conflict resolutions and build harmonious relationships.
So what we are aiming with this seminar is to better interagency collaboration and coordination, and we hope that with this seminar the agencies and the head of agencies will get to know each other better and have a better understanding, to know each other better will be the basis for better collaboration, coordination and cooperation. And we are sure with this seminar the security agencies can be a better part to better the security situation in Nigeria.
Speaking on the topic rule of law and security sector governance, Dr. Uju Agomo appealed to security agencies to observe rule of law and not abuse the law of the land. Swabwa Usman, Global Television News, Abuja.
Thousands of temporary teachers under Jigawa State government embarked on a peaceful protest and disrupted the attitude test organized by the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, for the recruitment of 6,000 teachers. Chairman of the board, Haruna Musa, reportedly escaped death in one of the centers at the Federal University, Dutse. The candidates had protested over alleged plan by some officials to hijack the recruitment process against Governor Umar Namadi's instruction for a transparent process. Speaking to newsmen on behalf of the aggrieved JTeach candidates, Abbas Aujara said 4,500 of them were recruited last 2 years, and in the process, they underwent 5 different aptitude tests and 3 verification exercises. According to him, subjecting them to another round of tests with freshers raises suspicion that the organizers of the test have a hidden agenda. Management of University of Calabar UNICAL has suspended the new charges and levies it announced earlier till further notice. This is coming on the heels of the peaceful protest by students of the institution on Monday over the decision of management to increase their tuition fees and other levies. In a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the university, Efion Eyo, the management announced that it has suspended payment of school charges till further notice. A release issued by the Registrar of the University, Gabriel Egbe, disclosed that the directive is coming on the heels of a protest embarked upon by students of the institution over the recent adjustments in undergraduate school charges. You're watching Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, cash shortage hits banks, customers rush for BVN NIN revalidation. The news continues shortly with details of these and other stories for you right after this short break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle from Nigeria's capital in Abuja. On the foreign scene, President of Guinea-Bissau, Umaru Embalo, has issued a decree dissolving the parliament after an attempt at coup in the West African nation. Violence had erupted between members of the National Guard and Special Forces of the Presidential Guard on Thursday night in the capital, Bissau, leaving 2 people dead before the army ordered its forces back to barracks. Embalo, who was in Dubai attending the COP28 climate conference, arrived back in Bissau on Saturday and announced that an attempted coup d'etat had prevented him from returning earlier. On Monday, said there had been complicity between the National Guard and certain political interests within the state apparatus. That meant, he says, the normal functioning of the institutions of the Republic has become impossible. Still in Africa, Tanzania President Samia Suluhu Hassan is cutting short her attendance at the COP28 climate summit amid deadly floods and landslides back home. At least 50 people in the northern Hanang region had died after a disaster stroke over the weekend, the leader's spokesperson said. Around 5,600 people have been affected. Homes and infrastructure were damaged by the heavy rains, which have also had an impact on farmland, directly threatening the people's livelihoods. 400 rescue workers have been sent to Hanang region, the government said. However, in a statement released on Monday, UNUS stated that the rescuers are operating under challenging conditions, such as defective telecommunications and blocked, damaged roads. A magnitude 5.1 earthquake struck just south of Istanbul in Turkey on Monday, rattling parts of the country's largest city but causing no immediate injuries or damage. The earthquake's epicenter was in the Marmara Sea's Gemlik Bay, which lies about 60 kilometers south of Istanbul, near the city of Bursa, according to the AFAD Emergencies Service. Turkey's most populated city is situated near the North Anatolian Fault, one of the most active in the world. Rains have lashed southern India's city of Chennai ahead of the landfall of a powerful cyclone, with roads flooded and cars submerged in floodwater. Cyclone Mashong will hit the Andhra Pradesh state coast on Tuesday morning as a severe cyclonic storm, packing winds of 90 to 100 kilometers per hour, winds with gusts of up to 110 kilometers per hour, the India Meteorological Department said. Now some business. The federal government says it will soon commence disbursement of funds under its presidential palliative program targeted at alleviating the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. In a statement by the Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Suzoka Anete, it says the programs consisted of the Presidential Conditional Grants Program and the Presidential Palliative Loan Program. For the Presidential Palliative Loan Program, it says the federal government would disperse 75 billion naira to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises across various sectors, and 75 billion naira specifically to manufacturers. The loan would be administered to the beneficiaries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. A huge crowd besieged banking halls on Monday as customers moved to link their bank verification numbers and national identity numbers to their bank accounts. This followed the new directive of the banking regulator to the banks on Friday to bar customers who were yet to link their BVN and NIN from having access to their accounts. CBN said in its new directive that existing customers must ensure all operated accounts wallets created through agents are fully profiled in the NIBSS ICAD and tagged with valid and correct BVN as well as NIN. Let's jump to sports now. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen was named as the Italian Footballers Association Footballer of the Year for his stellar showing with Neapolitans last season. The awards ceremony held on Monday night also had other accolades, including the Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Club of the Year, and a Goal of the Season. Osimhen's 26 goals were instrumental in helping the Partenopai win their first Shude in 33 years. This feat has also seen the Nigerian nominated for many awards, including the FIFA Best and Ballon d'Or. Congratulations to Victor Osimhen. And that's a full cycle here on the news. We are on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using a Global TVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Uyag Mofwebe, thanking you very specially for watching. We'll see you on the next one on the Media News.